I was born in the province of Giza in 1975. My father came from southern Egypt, from Qna province, about 600 kilometers from Cairo. It's the closest province to Luxor. And it was my father's belongingness to the family and our traditions, and his interest in habits, which sent our assets to Trabzon, a city in Turkey. My grandfather was born there and came to the south of Egypt. He was an officer in the army of Muhammad Ali. I grew up in an artistic family. My father worked as director of the artwork department in one of the most important, famous and oldest daily newspapers in the Middle East, the Al-Aram newspaper. My dad graduated from the Faculty of Fine Arts in 1961 and worked as a director for the book publishing Al-Aram newspaper, and also as a printing consultant. Lots of art materials were available in my house. Colors and papers to practice drawing and coloring. My family was caring technically for it. The walls in the house were filled with paintings. We had a very large library inside my house that contained all versions of Al-Aram for printing and publishing, and this helped me a lot to grow in a well-educated environment. My father urged me to draw, but I didn't force him to notice that I had a talent in art. He accompanied me many times to the Al-Aram Foundation, which has been working to study the output of technical books and watching the printing machines and how the book industry works. On the other hand, my work evolved as a result of internal talent and interest in the practice. It drew the attention of teachers of art education in various stages of my formation in the classrooms. Became art education as common in here. Just like any other kid, my family wanted to educate and sponsorship me the best care. Schooling has shown superiority in substantial philosophical and social studies. I graduated from high school with a degree on history, and my artistic talent pushed me strongly to enter the Faculty of Art Education in 1993. I spent 5 years studying. For me, art school was not difficult nor tiring. I personally loved my school, and because of this, art changed from being my hobby to a personal study. I was the best student on my college. I was the first student at the end of 5th division and got a total of 89 in the last year. In 1998 they named me first ordinal with honors, and got appointed assistant teacher on drawing and painting. On 2003 I obtained a master's degree and started my doctoral study, which I obtained on 2008. I currently teach at the Faculty of Art Education of Helwan University. My first art shows took place when I was little. They happened in my house whenever I finished my paintings, which I gave as gifts to my childhood friends. Eventually, during the final year on art school, I exhibited in the hall of the Faculty Art Education, and when I graduated my work was shown at the Art Center in Cairo. My work, first I chose the basic idea, the one that will be discussed in my new exhibitions. This must be new and linked to circumstances, reality that I live up. To be honest, that is very important in the artistic expression. Then I turn the idea into a large collection of ideas. I mean all the paintings that hold interpretations of the basic idea. Then I begin the process, which is like a kind of explosion in the canvas, and leave the emotions operate in the beginning to achieve sincerity and emotion, which inspires mathematical accounts of complicated color configuration settings. And then comes the process of ending artwork using lines to achieve the color transparencies. All my art contain messages, and these messages constitute a kind of monitoring, or actually foresee the future, or perhaps a return to the past as a kind of jumping back to the beginning and again into the future. I used iconographic shapes in my artworks in the field of mixing materials, which integrated the many works of art produced from 1996 to 2004. This widely mixing of raw materials complemented as I used installations and the objects when the idea needed them, and in the end, the idea is that we move in order to express it. In fact, art since its inception was symbolic at first, even in the womb of a cave. In there the primitive man set a solution for each equivalent of natural phenomena and the concerns and fears that troubled him and didn't find an answer for. Leaving his symbol was the equivalent of pressure and relaxation, getting rid of his fear for it. This was the most important reasons for asylum man on that period of the icon. But the symbolism of the 19th century, which was based on the argument of Plato's famous, everything perceived is what it is in fact, not the symbols and images of the realities in the world of ideals triggered the reaction of the artists because of the spiritual emptiness and dissatisfaction of the strict laws of classic realism. Criticism actually set its replacement. It began coding and discovering the meaning and implication, convinced by the deficit of direct expression. Its mind seemed to make sense of expression and transferred the symbolists. I see that art, thanks to the scientific development, will be up to the regions that were never uninhibited by scientific and technological discoveries. However, I want to warn that the human-controlled or human-feeling machine even took the machine on our humanity that set us apart from it. On the personal scope I work, seeking to develop the technical and stylistic development of artistic techniques as well as the technical idea itself. The message that I want to achieve in my career through my art is the new vision of all that surrounds us and the expression of the events or things through a different perspective, and to develop techniques and works of art both in terms of the idea or mode of expression. The message that I work for is monitoring the political and social development in the community in which I live and the impact on other communities. Art in general is an enlightenment and educational illuminate, the public awareness, insight, facts and reality reveal to us the imbalance in society. Art has a very important role in building a democratic culture. It is a culture and conscience of society.